stinginess is a form of misogyny. I'm sorry. You don't want to give a woman money. That's bare weird. That's super weird. You want to siphon my energy, but you don't want to give me money, knowing that a woman is always going to need money. And it's not even from a place of me being poor or needy or desperate. It's just the reality that, like, that money will bring ease to my life, but you'd rather hoard it. That's so weird. You don't want to pay it forward. Ugh. You don't want to redistribute your wealth. Weird. You don't think I'm deserving of reparations. That's
I don't even think she
strange.
believed this shit. Like,
It's giving
I don't know. It's
misogyny.
just kind of funny to me, like,
Stinginess
because I
is
feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm giving too much grace, but I'm just like, yeah, she's just saying some wild shit that, like, if you tone it back by like half, it's kind of true. But like, she just, I don't know. It's funny to me, but
I agree.
Yeah. But I think maybe I'm giving her way too much fucking credit because I literally don't know her as a person. She might really be on some, anti-male shit. But to me, it's just coming across as like gonzo comedy to make a lighter point. But that might be me twisting her words.
yeah, I mean, because like, I guess like, what are we defining as stingy? And
Yeah,
like, do you have it like that to give, or
that's what because to me, stingy is I've got it, but I don't want to give it just because I don't want to. Because I'm like, I feel like if you are rich, then one thing that you can do for your partner is money shit. Now, I understand you might not want to be valued for your money. That's fair. And I think it's fair to kind of be cautious around that. But once you are in a trusting relationship, if money is a thing that you have, if strength is a thing that you have, if the ability to cook is a thing that you have, you use your resources to ease the burden of your partner. So if you got it like that, then it's like, cool, I'll throw, and I don't have it like that. I haven't had it like that historically. So that hasn't been a thing that I've done. I wouldn't call that stinginess. I would call that poverty. And I think that that's different. Whereas stinginess is, I've got it, but I don't want to give it to you because you're a gold digging bitch. And it's like, cool, but why am I dating you? So,
I mean, that might be a
like,
valid reason too. I mean, if the shoe does fit.
Yeah, but then why am I dating you? You see what I'm saying?
Yes. But see, who said that it just had to be dating? She didn't mention anything about this being my significant other. She just said men who will have money not distributing their wealth is stingy, and that's misogyny. She didn't specify that she was talking about her partner.
That's a fair point. I mean, look, I made a lot of assumptions to just be like, this is some funny, goofy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I'm maybe giving more grace. So that's a fair point. Yeah. If she's just saying because you're rich, you need to give it to any woman you interact with, go on a first date with, then of course I disagree with that. But
crazy.
I mean, I also think that I think Eddie's 100% spot on, and I know that doesn't happen often. But I think
you can shut all the way up.
I think Eddie's 100% spot on. I think
you say this every single fucking episode.
No, I say I agree with you. I say I agree with you.
Roll that tape back. I'm spot on every time I speak. But go ahead and agree with me like you always do.
But what I will say is we all exist in a internet ecosystem where people will see that and run with it in the most extreme sense of it. So they'll say like a man shouldn't be stingy and be like, oh man, like, so he should buy me a Chanel bag every week and all that kind of shit. To Eddie's point, I think that really depends on whether or not you got it, what your partner values, how you should interact with what your partner values based on your means and your status and all that kind of stuff. So I think that a lot of it is like super contextual and like what you really want to do for your partner from that perspective. But I think that a lot of people see at a base level this word stinginess and like, oh, you should be doing this and you should be like redistributing wealth and all that kind of stuff. And I think they immediately jump to what the internet extremes of what that look like are. And that's not what most women want from that perspective. Most women want just for you to be considerate and care about their comfort in a way that shows that you value them as partners, that you value them as people. To Eddie's point, whatever your abundance is, you should just be using that to drive the best possible outcomes for your partner if you really care about them. So I think that Eddie really brought it back home, which is why I think that on this particular thing, you're 100% right. And I think that the internet probably sees that kind of stuff and runs with it in the most extreme, most maladaptive, most anti-social way of having like relationships in a way that's sustainable and good for both parties. But I think what you described is sustainable and good, right? Like and it could be whatever my wealth is. If my wealth is strength, I want to share my strength with my partner.
Lift shit up, you know what I mean? Yeah, whatever.
If my wealth is financial planning and intelligence, whatever, I want to use that
cars,
level
whatever
of
the
stuff.
fuck,
Yeah, fix cars, HVAC, whatever the fuck that is. Use that to level.
Bitch, I'll fix your AC, baby.
That's a flex right there.
Yeah, no, I think you're actually spot on for that first half of things. I think to Josh's credit, though, we can't just blame this on a small set of people who are taking what she said to the extreme. She said it extreme. Like we're interpreting a half strength version of what she said. What she said was the craziest possible version. And I think we also can't average it out to, here's what most sane women want, because that content and the people reacting to it on either sides are at the extreme. So the people who are asking for the Chanel bag, you know, from a motherfucker who works at the goddamn Quick Trip are maybe seeing that and responding to it in earnest. And that does still constitute a problem, even though if it doesn't apply to the vast majority of people who are just, you know, middle class working folks who are trying to date or whatever. And one of the pieces of context is, from what I know of her content, she does some kind of financial dominatrix, kind of stuff. So a lot of her content is about money, like men should just be paying women for kind of as a reparation for patriarchy, misogyny, whatever, you know, you pick your poison kind of a thing. So I think that Josh has a lot of fair points with regard to, sure, maybe this is not what she meant, but that's us making up a new point. And two, it might not even matter that much if that's not how people are reading it. So like the message and what people get from it are two different things. And the second of those things carries a lot, if not more, importance in this convo.
So do we think excellently put, by the way, I agree with both of you guys, by the way, just in terms of the context in which you both presented your statements. I 100% agree with both of you guys. And thank you for excellently articulating my thoughts, because it was just going to come out ignorant as fuck. You know, I'm just like, man, these bitches tripping. Shit, that motherfucker ain't say that.
You can see that ass from the front and right. Explosions in the back.
God damn it. I guess like just to cut down to it, although this is like rage bait, because again, I don't even think she like fully believes this stuff like to the extent of what she says it, because it's almost comical. But do we think like, okay, so if you do have it, or if you do have it like that, and you know you're not sharing your wealth, not even just with your partner, but maybe just kind of like generally speaking, you know, is that a misogyny?
What's general?
Like, you know, maybe okay, it could be like a girl you're dating, or a girl like you just casually dating, or just seeing, or maybe a hookup.
I think this is a difficult one, but I think to some extent
What's up, folks? It's about that time again for us to tell you about our new card game. In all seriousness, just like the podcast, this game has got range. So boom, you get to choose whether you want to take the conversation either in a more serious, thoughtful direction, or in a completely fun and nonsensical one. You control the narrative and steer the ship of the conversations at the dinner party, on dates, or just hanging out with your friends. This game has got double the fun of the last card game, with over 100 prompts to have you prepared for some of the deepest and dumbest conversations of your life. Member channels get 10% off, so be sure to grab your deck at shop.wavingtheredflag.com, as orders will be shipping soon. So cop that.
Like, you know, when people talk about girlfriend duties or girlfriend benefits and things like that, or boyfriend benefits, and you want girlfriend benefits, but you're not making me your girlfriend, you want wife benefits. I think I kind of understand it to some extent, but I also don't. So like, I get wanting to be like, hey, I want to see the extent to which we're compatible, and I don't want a person to hit a lick off me. So I don't want to be out. If I'm a woman and I'm dating a guy, I don't want you to choose me because I serve you well early on in a relationship. So if I'm cooking for you and cleaning for you and doing this kind of second shift labor, which I'm happy to do for somebody that I care for, I don't want you to pick me because of that. I want that to be a thing that is a ancillary benefit of you being my partner and me caring about you as my partner. So I understand on another side of that being like, yeah, I don't know you, we're not partners, so I'm quite happy to ease the burden of my partner financially because I've got it. But when we're in that selection phase, I don't want to be picked for that. I don't want that to be an expectation and a reason that you choose to be with me. So, but at the same time, holding off on shit is like kind of makes it hard to form the bond. So I really don't know the fucking answer to the question. I just understand both sides.
Yeah. And I will say from my perspective, with very mixed results, what I have done historically is, well, you'd have this internet discourse of like, well, women do X, Y, Z. So then like, why don't you just do this? What you call it? So my whole tactic was always, well, women say that, you know, this is a problem, so they need reparations for this kind of thing. Where I'll be like, well, I'll just do that thing. right? So they'll be like, well, we do all the second shift labor. I'd be like, you don't have to do any of that.
No.
Like I was like, you never have to clean. I was like, you never have to do laundry. You don't even have to do your laundry. You don't have to do your cleaning. I'll do all of it. Oh,
but you paying rent.
And it's like, you don't have to be my therapist. You don't have to be my mother. I got all of that shit covered. So I was like, you live with me. Your house is clean. I'm going to pay the bills that I'll be paying anyway. So like internet is like sunk costs, at least for now. We'll see what net neutrality brings into, or the lack of net neutrality. But all of that stuff that people would tend to like, like I don't have children. Like, also as I bring out all the time, I help raised 3 boys, right? So like I'm very, I'd be, if I was a father, my goal is to be a very active father because I have those skill sets just based on my background and what we had to do as a family growing up and all that kind of stuff. So
this nigga DMs is just about the doors about to just get knocked.
No, it's not. I promise.
This motherfucker is pussy farming for sure.
Bro, like for real, the resume is expensive, nigga.
I promise y'all.
He hit his resume.
No,
but I got this and this 17 degrees. Yeah.
No, but all of that to say is,
thank goodness,
I try to cut down on this is why women need reparations argument, at least on the macro level. I mean, on the micro level. On the macro level, I think there's a huge amount of nuance on around what that discussion should look like, because women are still, a oppressed class at a macro level, regardless of what me and my individual circumstances tend to do. But I try to insulate myself from like, oh, you should just be giving me money and you should just be buying me a Chanel bag, because I'm like, all of the stuff that women typically say in this internet sphere of why they feel like they should just get that, I'm just like, okay, well, you just never have to do that. Cool. Like now we're at an impasse. Now we can start.
What am I paying for?
And build this up.
But you said you've had mixed like response to that. But yeah, I think that's a fair approach.
I think I think my mixed results of it, again, very much in my youth, especially, I think my mixed results on it was that I thought that I would position myself legitimately as like I'm some special kind of nigga because like, oh, well, and I think that turns women off too, right? So I think that now that it's just kind of who I am as a person, and I don't like present it as like, oh, like I'm a high value man kind of bullshit as I did when I was fucking 21. I think that it plays a little bit differently.
You still be hitting that, by the way, I got 17 degrees, so where you gonna go, baby thing. So I could imagine it is all that is to say.
Fair enough.
Because he definitely hit him with, look, I'm not no red pill nigga, but you're not gonna find a lot of black men with 3 degrees that's over 6 foot tall. You know what I'm saying? That can cook and who clean as well. It's gonna be hard. I'm the top 1% of the top 1%.
Who can build you a laptop?
And who can build you a goddamn laptop?
Statistically, that is a fact. I mean,
facts are facts. You know what I'm saying? There's an Alpha Male podcast
with no kids. You're literally looking at a unicorn.
With no kids,
now. You're literally looking at a unicorn.
Really?
You want a black one?
The resume is strong.
This is a black one. You want a white one? I don't know. You want a pink one? You better take this black one. That's all I'm saying.
It's a red flag.